When Tesla released a cryptic teaser on October 7, 2025, no one had any idea it would mark the beginning of one of the biggest electric vehicle frenzies in recent history. It was just a short, 9-second video featuring a spinning image of something that resembled a rotor, or perhaps a fan. No captions, no explanation, just the date, 10/7 at the end. The internet went wild. Fans, engineers, curious onlookers, and even skeptics began theorizing. Could this be the sign that the long-awaited Tesla Model 2 would finally come to life? For those watching behind the scenes, that teaser seemed like more than just a marketing ploy. That mysterious code that appeared on the internal forums, E41, had already been linked to the Model 2 for months, almost like a whisper among devs and insiders. Elon Musk had briefly mentioned a more compact and efficient design than the Model Y, and sightings of camouflaged vehicles around Giga Texas began to multiply. Anticipation was high, and the teaser struck like a match thrown into a dry field. The timing couldn't have been more strategic. The $7,500 tax credit for electric cars, which had boosted sales in the US for years, expired at the end of September. Tesla, already preparing for the new market phase, needed a quick and, as always, surprising response. Launching a truly affordable car under $25,000 was more than just a long-held promise. It was a commercial survival move and a bold step toward electric dominance. The teaser, while vague, was also full of hidden clues. The rotation, the subtle metallic noise, the contrast between shadow and light, everything seemed calculated to arouse doubt and desire. The most attentive noticed similarities between the rotor design and the first conceptual renderings that had leaked back in 2024. Even the glossy pattern was compared to the satin finish of internal parts reportedly being tested for Tesla's new platform, internally referred to as CPMI EV. Besides the timing and the provocative visuals, what really fueled the theory that the Model 2 would be revealed was the activity on Tesla's official channels. In the hours following the teaser, the company's account began reposting old messages from Elon Musk about universal mobility and unlimited production. This, coupled with the fact that Giga Texas had partially shut down one of its production lines that week, pointed to something big being brewed, hidden from the public eye. There was also a curious question. Why reveal something in October, and not at the traditional Investor Day in March or AI Day, which usually takes place in September? The answer seemed simple to those who understood the game. It was necessary to fill the gap left by the end of incentives and take the lead before Chinese competitors, like BYD, captured the market with their compact urban lines. The Model 2, after all, would be the first Tesla to truly compete on volume. The term Model 2 exploded online, not only on enthusiast forums, but also among investors, journalists, and even in bar rooms among car enthusiasts. The idea of a Tesla with a budget-priced car, equipped with the latest generation of batteries, and already prepared for autonomous driving seemed too absurd to be true. And precisely for that reason, it fascinated. The anticipation was beyond rational. It was almost emotional. Shortly after the teaser went viral, something even more curious caught everyone's attention. A select group of automotive influencers were invited to a surprise visit to Giga Texas. Without much fanfare, they appeared in stories wearing Tesla helmets, walking along assembly lines and smiling from ear to ear, but without showing anything concrete. This alone would be enough to spark theories from all sides. After all, why now? And why these specific people? It was as if Tesla was preparing a show and had invited a select few to the dress rehearsal. The lack of revealing footage only heightened the tension. The embargo was so heavy that even spoilers couldn't get any details. But one thing was certain. Something unprecedented had been shown inside. All it took was a few pieces to understand that the activity was beyond the ordinary. Elon didn't say a word, which in itself was suspicious. When the head of chaos is too quiet, It's because something is about to happen. That's when alternative theories began to emerge. One suggested the teaser wasn't about the Model 2, but rather a new Tesla cooling system for its AI chips, something directly linked to the next-generation FSD hardware. Another pointed to something even crazier, a secret flying taxi project with electric propellers developed in conjunction with an aerospace startup Elon had discreetly acquired in late 2024. Guess where this came from? The AI Grok, which had predicted this possibility through pattern analysis. The internet delved deeply into these possibilities. Some people swore the teaser's rotor was actually a GPU fan. Others analyzed the object's rotation frame by frame and concluded it was part of a new axial electric motor. And, as always, the memes emerged. From the flying Model 2 to the Tesla blender, a supposed line of Tesla appliances designed to trick the algorithm. But amidst all the noise, the real signs were all there, and quite clear to anyone who knew where to look. Those who followed Tesla's internal movements had already noticed that the company had begun reallocating engineers from projects like the Roadster and Semi to something more urgent. Furthermore, some parts suppliers, notoriously discreet, began mentioning a new contract involving ultra-compact parts and standardized modules, which would be a perfect fit for a small, affordable car. It was like watching a jigsaw puzzle come together in real time, but with the pieces scattered across different continents. And of course, this reignited the fire among prototype hunters. Within less than a week, images emerged of a camouflaged car driving around Austin. Compact, with a shorter rear end than the Model 3 and wheels completely covered by smooth hubcaps. It was spotted day and night, with strangely narrow headlights and no visible door handles. That was enough for the Model 2 Spotted to become a global trending topic. Curiosity turned into obsession. When Tuesday finally arrived, with the date set in the teaser, July 10th, anticipation was sky high. And while the official announcement wasn't exactly what everyone expected, the message behind it was clear as day. Instead of directly revealing the Model 2, Tesla quietly added new, standard versions of the Model 3 and Model Y to its online configurator. These were simpler, more affordable models, with deliveries scheduled for late 2025. To those who only glanced at the surface, it seemed like just another catalog update. But for those who follow Tesla closely, it was a warning. The groundwork was being prepared. These standard versions didn't just appear out of nowhere. They featured decisions that broke Tesla's mold in recent years. Radical simplifications in interior trim, cuts in features, standardized components, and a direct focus on production efficiency. It was as if the company was testing, in real time, which elements could be discarded without compromising the brand's essence. And the essence, in this case, wasn't luxury. It was accessibility. It was the harbinger of the Model 2, hidden right there in the structure of these new trims. The new Model Y standards configuration, for example, said much more than the technical specifications revealed. A cleaner look, with aerodynamically optimized wheels and a redesigned front end. Less for aesthetics, more for production efficiency. Inside, goodbye to refined finishes. Synthetic fabric seats, manual adjustments, a simpler sound system, and the absence of some premium sensors. But still, with solid range, a 15-inch central display, and 100% Tesla-like driving. Affordable, but without feeling like an entry-level car. The Model 3 Standard came with an even more aggressive price tag, $36,620. The same battery pack, the same color options, with stealth gray and diamond black versions as paid options. And most interestingly, this version also ditched the rear screen, premium speakers, and full autopilot. It seemed like a small feat, but the goal was different. This car wasn't about impressing. It was about paving the way. It was the Model 2's dress rehearsal, with the curtains half open. In practice, these versions looked like disguised prototypes. Every cheaper part, every simplified tweak, every cost cut pointed directly to what the Model 2 would become. And that's when the game became clearer. Tesla didn't just want to launch a cheap car. It wanted to reinvent the process of launching a cheap car, using its own existing models as a living laboratory to test, fix, and adjust, and only then launch the final product. A masterstroke. Anyone who delved into the details of these new models quickly realized they carried a very different philosophy than Tesla had applied until then. No more impressing with excess. The idea now was to shine in what really mattered: cost, efficiency, and functionality. The Model Y standard's interior, for example, replaced electric seat adjustments with manual levers. The multimedia center remained robust, but the sound system was reduced to 7 speakers. And, surprisingly, this didn't bother almost anyone. This careful reduction of elements considered superfluous clearly pointed to the Model 2's design, which would be born with these decisions embedded in its DNA. By eliminating the need to adapt a premium car to become affordable, Tesla finally seemed to understand that a cheap EV doesn't have to look inferior. It just needs to be intelligently designed from the start. And this was evident in the subtlest details, like the new acoustic fabric upholstery and the absence of expensive materials in the sunroof. The decision to maintain the 69 kWh battery in both models further reinforced this logic. After all, if it's possible to offer over 500 kilometers of range with a lighter, more efficient architecture, why inflate the design with larger, more expensive batteries? Tesla seems to have found the balance between what consumers expect and what the company needs to deliver to ensure profit margins. And let's face it, that balance is precisely where the Model 2 will position itself. Other details also caught my attention. The new wheels, for example, were redesigned to maximize airflow and reduce drag. These solutions, previously restricted to performance models, were now being used in entry-level models as an energy-saving tool. The double-glazed soundproofing and the addition of a fabric lining under the panoramic roof were smart touches, designed to reduce costs without compromising comfort. This, to me, is a clear sign that Tesla isn't just cutting costs, it's optimizing every inch of the experience. It's interesting how, even with all these changes, the brand's spirit remains intact. The clean dashboard, the fluid interface, the functional minimalism, it's all still there. What's changed is the focus. Out goes superfluous luxury, and in comes productive intelligence. It's as if Tesla has decided to abandon ostentation and fully embrace its mission of accelerating the transition to sustainable energy, but this time in a truly grassroots way, and not just in speeches. And this directly connects to the challenge that the Model 2 will face, offering a complete, intuitive, and reliable experience without relying on expensive and difficult-to-maintain technologies. Everything tested on the standard models, from the steering wheel material to the recalibrated suspension, serves as a trial run for something much bigger. And this shift in mindset, from a premium brand to a mass-market brand, could be the game-changer the industry needs. And if there's one element that can transform an affordable car into something truly revolutionary, it's the intelligence built into it. Tesla's big bet with the Model 2 isn't just price, it's range. And I'm not just talking about mileage. Full self-driving version 14.1, which began rolling out to vehicles in 2025, is the key piece in this puzzle. With it, even the most basic car in the lineup now handles like a premium car, capable of making decisions, avoiding obstacles, and, most impressively, knowing exactly where to drop you off. The new system introduced a feature called Arrive Option, which allows the vehicle to automatically choose the best spot to drop off passengers, whether on the street, in a garage, or in a parking lot. This represents a huge leap forward for everyday use. Imagine a Model 2 dropping off its owner at their doorstep, and then connecting to a public charger on its own. all without the need for expensive sensors like LiDAR or radar, just cameras and a whole lot of AI brainpower. This brain, in fact, has evolved considerably. The FSD 14.1 neural network now integrates real-time routing and navigation without relying on predefined maps. This means the car reacts like a human driver when faced with roadblocks, construction, or accidents. The flexibility of this system is what makes the Model 2 a natural candidate for a fleet of robo-taxis. After all, if the car is cheap, smart, and autonomous, it ceases to be just a product and becomes a service. Another update that demonstrates the focus on urban and accessible use is the increased sensitivity for detecting emergency vehicles. Now, the car understands when it's near an ambulance or patrol car and automatically adjusts its driving style. Tesla has also improved unprotected turns, navigation through gated entrances, and even detection of unusual obstacles, such as debris or misplaced cones. All of this directly impacts performance in dense cities, which will be the Model 2's natural habitat. But one of the most underrated, and yet most important innovations, is the new automatic camera cleaning system. Yes, you read that right. The Model 2 will come equipped with a system that uses high-pressure air jets to clean the external camera lenses, ensuring a clear view without human intervention. This may seem small, but for a car that intends to operate alone for hours, it makes a huge difference. Autonomy isn't just about driving, it's about staying functional. If future cars need to be intelligent, then they also need to be empathetic. It seems strange to talk about a machine like that, but that's exactly what Tesla is trying to achieve with the new features of FSD 14.1, especially with the Model 2 in mind. One of the system's biggest innovations is the car's ability to learn the driver's habits. Seriously, it understands how you like to drive, where you usually park, and even which lane you prefer on a busy road. This isn't just a convenience. It's a way to transform the car into something that truly adapts to its owner. A curious and much talked about feature is sloth mode. Yes, laziness. It's even more cautious than the old chill mode, designed for drivers who prefer an extremely smooth ride. This setting has been tested in dense urban environments, where aggressive driving becomes synonymous with stress and risk. With sloth, the Model 2 would have an almost Zen-like behavior, perfect for urban centers and for drivers who just want to get from point A to B without any surprises. But what's most impressive is how the system goes beyond a simple driving mode. It learns from the user and stores preferences such as speed on certain stretches, behavior at intersections, traffic response patterns, and even reaction time in tight situations. This is all stored and used to automatically suggest configurations for future trips. The car begins to behave like someone who knows you, and this completely changes the driving experience. Another feature that seems small but has a huge impact is the ability to remember parking preferences and drop-off points. For example, if you're usually dropped off at the side entrance of a supermarket or the back gate of your child's school, Model 2 will remember this and repeat the behavior without you having to ask.